Hi. So today we're going to draw what's on my page here. If you're interested, grab yourself some paper, a pencil, a ruler. I've got my aunt joining me today live. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
And yeah, we'll get started. This is the last drawing lesson I did last Monday. This is what we drew. It was a mandala. I'll show you a little bit closer. I didn't quite finish it, but that's an hour of drawing. So today we're going to learn all about the triangles, the star tetrahedron, and draw that pyramid. It's not that hard today, I don't think, but it looks really cool once you're finished. So grab a page, get your ruler out, and a compass. This is what a compass is. This is just kind of a cheap one from the dollar store, but I do really like it. I have a few of them because I do plan to teach drawing lessons more often in the future. Alright, so my aunt's already started. I instructed her a few minutes early. This is Aunt Hazel. To start with drawing a line down the center of the page lengthwise. So first we have to measure about halfway, which to me is about here. And then we're going to draw a line all the way down the middle of the page. Very light lines. We'll be erasing this later. And I'm just going to double check that you can see it. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. The reason I'm doing this again is because I want it to be a little bit smaller than the last one. And my compass was doing what my aunt's was doing and kind of messing up. It takes practice to use a compass, so let's start again with the speed of light. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the chat because I have my other phone here, so I actually can see who's here and who asks questions. These 2 points for my next circle. That's where I made the mistake last time. That. And I'm going to do this one as well. Like so. So now on these points at the bottom is where we're going to draw the next circles. And that will get us our triangle. Same size. I don't know if anyone joined me the last time I did this particular tetrahedron of triangles. And top. So this is the triangle here. I'm going to discuss a little bit about the meaning of the triangle and the star tetrahedron as well, the tetrahedron. But first I want to make sure that I've got all this going. Alright, so there's the first triangle. Now we're going to draw another triangle using these points in the middle. Just a smaller triangle inside the big triangle. So the big triangle that we just did is like the main outside shape. And now we're going to do a smaller triangle. I hope that gave some of you a chance to catch up. Now the third triangle is, you can definitely see it here with the main seed and life in the center. So the next step is to draw a third triangle in the center. So it's like a pyramid of triangles already. All right. And from there, now we're going to go and draw the hexahedron inside each one. So there's a point here, here, and here. So this is the inverse triangles. We've done the triangles facing up, strong point, motivation, accomplishments. And now we're going to do some triangles facing downwards, the other way, like that. One, and in this circle here in the middle, there, another one going down, right sort of underneath it, about the same size. Okay, there we go. Good start. Next up is these ones on the sides. So for these ones, we're going to draw this line of this bottom one. Here. Yeah, actually let's draw the hexagons all the way around this one that we just drew next. So drawing straight lines around the middle circle here. Hexahedron that we finished with the inverted triangles. Now my feedback for last week was that I went too fast. Sorry about that. So I'll try to slow down a little bit today. So this is what we have so far. See if some of you need some time just to catch up before I continue. This triangle down here, so the middle point to this bottom line there, okay. And there's going to be a couple of triangles here as well, so let's draw this one. If you can see this circle, we're going to do an upside down triangle in it, like that, and this one as well, inside our main triangle that we drew, the big outside one. Alright, now the ones on the sides that we just drew, they also need hexagrams around them, so we're going to draw the lines to each point of the star tetrahedron. Now you can draw yours a lot lighter than mine, but I'm doing them nice and dark so you can see them. And a little line in the middle, like so, and then this one. This will be the last of it. I love drawing this one. I can just kind of clear my head and know how to draw it. It's so easy. Okay, so this is the main shape. And this is before we start coloring in all the little parts. Well, actually, first we have to draw in pen, and before we start coloring it in. Okay, so I'm going to start with the main triangle on the outside and turn down the music and talk to you a little bit about triangles. Triangles have been used throughout history. I mean, it's one of the basic shapes. The tetrahedron, which will be the 3D sort of shape, which uses 4 triangles, which are equilateral, and putting them together in a 3D shape, that's called the tetrahedron, which is one of the Platonic solids, which Plato talked about in his work Timaeus, which are the building blocks of the universe. And I know he talked about this last week. Each has equal sides, equal lengths, facet sides, and angles. And they all fit into a sphere. So the 5 Platonic solids are equated with fire, earth, air, water, and ether. The tetrahedron, which is the simple, basic triangle shape. And I'm just going to start with the middle one. The tetrahedron is the Platonic solid, one of the shapes that make up the building blocks of the universe. And it's the one that represents fire. So this is basically what the tetrahedron looks like. This middle triangle in pen that I'm drawing here right now. Now we are going to draw these so that they're 3D, so you'll be able to see the actual tetrahedron. Right now, pretty much they're just triangles. Now the purpose of this is to get me more comfortable with using my voice, explaining all of this information about triangles and tetrahedrons and Platonic solids and sacred geometry that swirls around my head. Oh, Lauren, can you move it to the right a tiny bit? Oh, thank you. I didn't even notice that. Did that work? Oh, it's a little bit slow. I really appreciate that. Let me turn it a little bit. Okay, how's that? Thank you. I can see the comments now on my other phone. So are you following along, Lauren? The seed of life, and then we drew the lines diagonally so we could get these 2 circles, and then from there we had the main triangle, and then from there we had the smaller triangle, and then from there we had the tiniest triangle, and then we started making the upside down triangles of the tetrahedrons. So yeah, now I'm just kind of going over it all in pen, and we can talk about triangles a little bit and the symbol. Now, the triangle is a symbol that was used to communicate hidden messages in the past. There's a strong foundation of a triangle. Like, think about the base, you know, the triangle's got a base, and then the point at the top is almost like a balance point. So people think of it as, or have thought of it as, the point at the top of the triangle being balancing after attaining a goal or a dream, and that feeling that you get of attainment, of accomplishment. So the triangle is very much a symbol of action, of movement, and honestly I'm feeling a lot of that these days, hence these drawing lessons, all of the tattoos I have coming up, all of the festivals and workshops. I'm going to be teaching some drawing workshops as well at different festivals to get get their pens out and not be scared. Especially when drawing geometry, I feel like there's a structure to it, you know, like a triangle. There's a structure, tetrahedron. But then you can go off in infinite ways and create your own variations, and it's always different when the human aspect's brought in. You know, we're not machines. Aw, thanks, Lauren. So complex. I love getting to hear you really about it all. You don't get to table as much when you were talking to me. I don't get to talk as much, you mean? Yes. I try words when I'm typing them, so many typos. It's okay, I understand. I kind of get what you said, and it's true, I don't talk while I'm tattooing, so it's nice to be able to share my knowledge this way. I've always had a bit of since I had a speech impediment, I have a bit of an insecurity around my voice, and even though I have a lot in my brain, sometimes it's a challenge to get it out of the brain, you know? No problem, Lauren. I can't see them. Typos. Yeah, I understand. I hope you can see what I'm drawing here. Anyhow, so the triangle represents this flow state that you can get into when you feel activated and you start accomplishing things. In Hinduism, the triangle is associated with the third eye chakra. It's shaped like a triangle anyway. So that can bring sort of a feeling of groundedness, centeredness when I think of the triangle and connection to your inner self. Mind, body, spirit. I'm gonna draw around the outside now. So mind, body, spirit. If you're religious, there's the Holy Trinity associated by the triangle. I'm not Christian, but I know a little bit about the Holy Father, the Holy Son, and the Holy Spirit is represented by the triangle in Christianity. It's also represented as past, present, future. Number 3 is powerful. Mental, physical, emotional. Birth, growth, death. Native Americans use the triangle as a symbol for home. So now I'm going to outline or draw lines where all of those hexagons were around those 3 triangles on the sides. The hexagons. One of my favorite things to learn about in this lifetime are geometric shapes. I like to learn about the significance of them. I like to learn about what the history is and the different shapes and how to make them is something just seems powerful. It connects me somehow to the universe in a way, you know, universal shapes. Especially when drawing the flower of life, all the circles, and just connecting them. And it reminds me how everything's connected, you know. Last week I spent 3 days drawing a fractal tattoo. It wasn't necessarily geometric, it was a fractal in which, as above, so below, everything's like this one piece, and it expands and it contracts and it gets really, really small, and then you can expand it and it gets really, really big, and I found it definitely much more of a challenge to draw that fractal because it wasn't necessarily so structured like I'm used to drawing with rulers and pencils. It was more free flow, even though it is geometry and it is the universe and fractal shapes. Alright, so I don't know if any of you are joining me, but that's what we have so far. Now, I'm going to try to erase a little bit. Hopefully my pen doesn't smear. So that you can kind of upside down triangle before I start erasing it. Native Americans use the triangle to symbolize home. Oh, and of course these ones. So I'll do this one here. This is that second triangle we drew. So if you're just doing a pencil drawing, I've given you lots of time to catch up. Trying to make the lines somewhat equal in thickness. I know when I tattoo I don't use a ruler, obviously, but it's definitely faster when you're drawing. This one went a little bit thicker than the rest, so I'm going to try to thicken up this side to make it even. It is really good practice drawing super straight lines without a ruler, that's for sure, especially if you want to be a tattoo artist. Okay, now this one here has, I'm not going to use a ruler for these just to practice it, has this triangle coming behind. In fact, I just realized the one I just drew was supposed to go behind as well, so that's okay. I can get out my handy dandy gel pen eraser. Hold on a second. So these are really handy. See it there? Now before I do that, maybe I will start erasing. It's getting a little complicated. Gently erasing. See it better for sure. Now this is the one that I meant to go behind, so I'm just gonna, these little gel pens, jelly rolls they're called, this one's brand new so that didn't work in. Upstairs and got it, which I might do anyhow. Alright, we're almost there. Now, these ones actually go behind as well, so I'm glad I didn't quite erase all of them. Now when you're drawing a tattoo design, you definitely don't want to keep it, I mean, you could, but my opinion, you want it to have flow. So this is just a shape that would be part of another sort of design where we can flow it around. What I'm talking about, an example, and this one I just did really quickly the last time to add a bit of a background and show you what the flow around it could look like. I did this one really big, but this is sort of the finished result here. where I just did some triangles or circles, around to give it a little bit of flow, but I'd like to expand it. This one I'm doing definitely a little bit smaller, so there's more room. What time is it? I find that Instagram is giving so many ads these days. Artwork by Katia Live. Okay, we still have 20 minutes. So let's erase it a little bit better. Now that the pen's kind of dried, can you still see that? Yeah. Yeah, so the triangle, balance, stability, fire, solar plexus chakra, in Hinduism the third eye chakra, the flow state, having a strong foundation, direction of energy, cycles of growth, and the tetrahedron. Yeah, good. So this is fairly ready now to start filling in with shading. So I'm going to start with a solid black, and for that I grabbed a Sharpie, and I have a page for underneath so it doesn't go to my other page. So I'm going to start with these two. Solid black, just easier and faster. I mean, you can also do darker dots, which take a long time. Just filling in with black is fairly simple if you just want to get it done in an hour. And it also shows up a lot more for you guys. I know that the sun's kind of creeping up here. Hope you can still see what I'm doing. This is also the practice for me to teach some workshops which I have coming up in person. I know it's a lot different in person than it is here, but I'm just getting used to talking while I draw and explaining complex geometric things, which I'm not quite as good at yet while I'm drawing, but I'm getting there. So thanks for being here, or coming in and saying hi and then leaving, which is good too. Like that bee just flew by my head. I got the door open today. It's a lovely day. I'm tattooing tomorrow. College math teacher with a bunch of mathematical equations and geometries, so that will be interesting. I'm really excited. I love drawing, but I love tattooing. I mean, they go hand in hand. I have seen some tattoo artists out there in the world who don't draw, believe it or not. They just pretty much copy things from the internet or whatnot. And I'm not saying there's not an art for that. I mean, it's still room for that in the market. People just want little things, you know, like, oh, just give me a little heart, a little star. And that little heart or star could be completely meaningful in so many ways. Just as meaningful as a huge back piece fractal like the one I did last week. But generally I feel that the more intricate the tattoo, the longer you have to sit there through it, the longer you have to endure and go through this experience of getting the tattoo. it's not always easy getting a tattoo. I mean, those lucky people that can not feel it so much as others. But the ones that really feel it, they sure go through a process, I feel. Overcoming this challenge of sitting there nice and still while their body's being put through something that's not necessarily a pleasant feeling. One reason I love it so much. Alright, so I've got all the solid black piece parts. Get my jelly roll out for another layer. This is just like a white pen that you can use to cover up well. I mean, no one's perfect, right? Wish I had one of these when I tattoo. No, I'm just kidding. I don't make mistakes when I tattoo. Never. Okay, so this side of the star tetrahedron is oh, my paper number again, is going to be light shading. Can you see it now? The next time I'm here for a drawing lesson won't be on Monday. Maybe I could go in the sunshine mode. Is that better? Won't be next Monday because I'll be out of town, but the Monday after I was thinking of drawing a star 64-bit star triangle, star tetrahedron grid. It's a lot more complicated, might have to take you faster. Is it better down here in the sunshine? But it looks really cool. I love it, and then I could teach you all about that amazing shape. See if I can do it well in drawing. When I'm drawing, I get sort of in the flow state, like the triangle represents. Brain sort of shuts off a little bit. It is like a meditation, you know. Because when I'm drawing, I sort of get in this meditative state, as well as tattooing. It's definitely a challenge to talk during it. And so you can feel the state that I'm in, drawing these intricate shapes and geometries. I encourage you to do it, you know, like grab a paper, grab a pen. As I mentioned, my two reasons for being here are, well, to practice talking during drawing, practice telling people about the shapes and all the information that's in my head while creating it, but also to inspire you to get out paper. And I mean, these things are really handy, these compasses. Just start drawing circles and see what happens, and having fun, like being a kid, you know, enjoying life, enjoying kidness, youthful, childlike qualities of not caring if you mess up, you know. Like, this is my aunt who was here in person. She's in her late 60s, and you know, this was the one that she did. Let me show you. She hasn't drawn, I don't know the last time she's drawn. She doesn't draw. But I'm proud of her, you know, look what she did. Can you see that? I mean, it's not perfect, but it's something. I want to outline it and give it to her. It's nice to have spontaneous visit from my aunt I haven't seen in so long. Alright, so those ones, I'm going to do the triangles pointed this way a little bit lighter, but so that they're still there. And if you're using a pencil crayon like me, you can sort of use your finger, smudge it a little bit, make it blend a little bit better. And these ones are the last ones. I know I didn't really announce today's workshop until maybe an hour ago, 2 hours ago, an hour before I was here, so sorry about that. It's just been a really busy weekend, but that's okay. If you didn't have time to get your drawing stuff, that's okay. I might be posting these to my YouTube channel, which I think I have one video on there right now only, and it's an interview that was done about my tattooing process. Yeah, so anyway, I think there we go. There's the star tetrahedron pyramid. You can picture it in 3D a little bit better now, probably. And I'm really curious if you did draw this, to please let me know, show me, you know, and also think about like what I did with the last one, taking some circles and adding your own flair and adding some flair and flow. This is tricky with the shadow. you can also take a ruler and make them into hexagons, which I love doing, or just make your own hexagons. Now, I'm fairly good at just sketching hexagons. I've done it so many times, so just sort of taking some doodles and giving this tetrahedron pyramid some friends around it, some geometry shapes, some hexagons, and maybe nature elements. Maybe add some clouds or sunshine or some trees. Everybody's got their own strengths, right? Or like ideas. But the thing is just not to be scared. Go for it. Yeah, maybe these hexagons aren't perfect. I'm doing them quickly, but it sure is fun. I will be back in a couple of weeks, hopefully. So thanks again for coming. Bye, everyone.